It's Big Machine GP time!
We have a second race!
We're back at Indianapolis!
Veekay!
Let's get into that race preview. Hi guys, I'm Mike.
And I'm Stephen.
And this is Indy Fanatics, your home for IndyCar content with weekly podcasts and feature videos. Welcome back to the channel, guys. It is time, like we said, for another race preview. It is the middle part of our kind of three-race sandwich. Obviously, last week we had that chaos in Nashville. So if you haven't already, check out our race reaction to that. I will leave a link in the description to that video below. And if you have watched it, thank you for watching from there. But before we get stuck in our teeth into the preview today, obviously, like I said, return to Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the second time on the road course. Just on a obviously more serious note, obviously Robin Miller, who has been a journalist within IndyCar car USAC I think since the 60s he's been involved. We obviously, everyone who knows watches that we're kind of new fans, so like we haven't had a long association with Robin Miller like some fans, but he is kind of, you know, part of the furniture, part of the scenery of IndyCar, and obviously went through a massive health scare recently, and I think he's hoping to be in. Obviously Colton Herta dedicated his pole lap to Robin after there, and I think most of the drivers were pretty much showing a support for Robin as well, with stickers on their cars, and I think there was a nice bit, one of the walls of the Nashville GP was there. So obviously thoughts, you know, with Robin at this difficult time, and hopefully he can get to a racecourse there. And then the sad news of Bob Jenkins passing away, a legendary broadcaster within it, started his association, I think, broadcasting on NBC with CART back in 1979. He will be the subject. Our tribute to him will come in our feature video this week, but obviously thoughts with his family and friends at this difficult time. Both men are kind of legends and just kind of embroiled in the tapestry of IndyCar history. They are part of it and legends, certainly, on that aspect. But back to preview time. So, we'll do what we usually do in previews. We'll have some kind of general discussions from there. We'll put some podium predictions. We would have done track facts, but as it's the second time we've been here,
who needs them?
Yeah, we'll save them for next year. Otherwise, we'll use up all our Indianapolis track stats in 1 year. Crazy there. Star performers, rookie discussion as well, because there is another new rookie of the weekend coming in, which we shall discuss. But Big Machine GP, we're back at the IMS. It's a doubleheader road course. NASCAR is there as well this weekend. IndyCar races on the Saturday. So it's an IndyCar NASCAR doubleheader at the Brickyard. What are you feeling, Stephen?
What am I feeling? Penske. I'm feeling Penske. Penske. It's a Penske, traditionally a Penske stronghold, right?
Yep,
obviously,
is. Pagenaud and power on the road course, and obviously we all know how many Indy 500s they've won as well. Exactly. 17.
Obviously, earlier in the season, we had the Veekay Grosjean battle for the win, but I'm feeling a strong Penske return here, and Josef Newgarden to bounce back after a disappointing home city GP.
He was only 30 minutes away. He grew up on the streets of Nashville. He was definitely there as a kid.
Home state GP.
Let him go. God, unbelievable. Okay, but you mentioned Veekay there. Last time he got a pole position and he got a podium in that doubleheader Harvest GP. He did very well there. He won his first ever IndyCar race. He loves the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. You can't rule out Veekay for a win.
Yeah. And maybe he's lining up to go to Penske. Maybe he'll fit in if he wins.
Well, they'll go, geez, usually our drivers win this. We've got to get Veekay. Pagenaud, see you later, son. Here's the new prodigal driver. It's Rinus Veekay. Veekay, had an incredibly strong race.
Hasn't really been at the top since his bicycle accident. So I'm not sure if he'll be there to challenge again, but you can't write him off.
I think, yeah, I mean, Ed Carpenter as a whole on the road and street courses haven't really been there since that race.
Yeah.
To be fair. But they know they've got a setup that works here. Obviously, weather conditions may be slightly different. Obviously, track temperature we know affects tyre degradation and setups and everything like that and kind of what's quicker. So, you know, obviously when we had the cooler temperatures for the Harvest GP in 2020, it led to some really good racing.
Yeah.
But, you know, Rinus Veekay had one of the overtakes of the season in terms of that, putting the eye of the needle through between Jimmie Johnson and Alex Palou, just coming out of the pit stop sequence, wasn't it, in the early part of the lap, which, yeah, was one of the highlights. And we'll come on, you said it was part of the other guy there, Romain Grosjean. In the preview to the Indy GP, we said this is probably the one he'll do the best at because it's most similar to a Formula One track.
Yes. Yeah. And obviously he did lead a few laps at Nashville. Unfortunately, just wasn't on the right strategy to challenge for the win. But yeah, Romain Grosjean continues to impress, continues to grow, and maybe this second time round, he could convert a win.
Wow, he's grown and developed even more since that second place and obviously pole position that he got at IMS. So I think with Romain Grosjean and Veekay, they're the first two that are kind of nailed on to be really strong favourites in the race.
I'm just thinking, if Romain Grosjean wins, are we on for some kind of record for most first-time winners in one season? Because we've had Veekay, Palou, Pato, Ericsson, and then Grosjean would be number 5.
Yep.
Am I missing anyone else?
I don't think so. Because Herta had already won, Dixon's already won, and those are the guys who have only won.
Has won a few.
And Newgarden
has also won a few.
He's won a few too. Yeah, and championships, couple. Well, first-time winners will stick on that point because we all know that Jack Harvey will be parting ways with Meyer Shank Racing at the end of the season. And this is one of, if not his strongest track, his home away from home, obviously from the UK, our British driver, Jack Harvey. We don't know where he's going, but it would be amazing if he could get that first win for the team before they kind of part way to kind of almost be a good, closing chapter on what has been a brilliant partnership between the two.
Yeah.
And I think out of the remaining races, if it's going to happen, it's got to happen here.
Yeah, because didn't he suffer with a late puncture? Am I remember that correctly from the race early in the season?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't a late puncture. He was doing well on the first round of pit stops, had a slow pit stop, which put him back, then had a puncture and had to do a whole lap with the puncture and basically ruled him out. And that has basically summed up Jack Harvey's luck this year.
Yes, he's having a full-on Rossi season.
He absolutely is. But like Rossi, every week we go, this could be the week. It turns around because I think at Nashville again, he suffered on strategy after running well in the race.
Oh, Harvey.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't really see him at all in Nashville. I think he was one of the guys that ended up in the wrong strategy.
Yeah. And obviously Elio got that top 9 finish in the end. So I think 3 guys who are historically strong there. And then we have to talk about haven't won either any race this season. Will Powell, we know, safe, but Pagenaud in a contract season, anything to kind of boost his case.
Penske.
Power, Pagenaud, Penske. Triple P.
Could it be Will's first pole position of the season? He had 5 last year, and we're coming to the end of the calendar, and he hasn't even got 1.
He's had a season, and I know obviously a lot of people were critical for how he drove in Nashville. I think they're just drivers pushing the limits on it. A lot of drivers, it didn't necessarily look great at times, but will want to bounce back.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And these drivers, they're all pushing the limits. All the ones through the grid have, had off days or off moments from it. And if there's one place that he'd probably want to have coming back from this, it probably is, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course because he's so good here.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you think he's quietly gone under the radar of just slowly accumulating himself? I think he's 6th or 7th in the championship points again. Did he finish in the top 10? I think he might have finished outside of.
Yeah.
I can't remember. But he still slowly accumulates.
Because having that willpower incident, I think, stuffed him a little bit.
He was driving well until then. But still, even after that, he had kind of recovered. And then still, I think it went downhill for Pagenaud. But, it's...
Is the writing on the wall?
I don't know. Like I said, Penske expect it to happen. But if someone like a Rinus Veekay does win and Pagenaud finishes outside the top 10...
It's just weird the contract hasn't come into fruition. With how... Because entering the season, both Will Power and Simon Pagenaud were free agents at the end.
Yeah.
So when they signed Will, if they were confident of signing Simon, why didn't they do it at the same time? Unless they were thinking, well, actually... He's got to do something if we're going to keep him.
Who knows? Silly season rumours will come in.
Or maybe it's Pagenaud's thing of going, do I just want to go full-time sports cars?
I don't know.
Can I challenge with the Aeroscreen?
I don't know. I think Pagenaud still loves IndyCar. And I think he's got better throughout the season. So maybe that is it. Maybe he wanted to see how this season goes with the Aeroscreen because he openly admitted he was one of those drivers who really struggled with the adaptation to it. Maybe.
Maybe. It's just weird.
Let us know your thoughts in the comments below as always.
It's weird how the contracts just hasn't been announced at all.
Absolutely.
I know there's obviously tons of time between end of the season and next season where it can happen, but it's just weird that Will's got done early doors, but Simon's has just not happened.
Like I said, maybe it's the sports car thing because Will doesn't really do anything other than IndyCar.
Yeah.
It is just IndyCar where, Pagenaud is part of those kind of IMSA rides and maybe World Endurance Championship for hypercars is something that's looming that interests him.
Yeah.
Because he's a good sports car driver and there'd be a lot of people vouching for his signature if he was available on the market. Right, so probably then looking at guys who are new on the track, Top Gun Racing are going to have their first race in IndyCar.
Yes.
Obviously failed to qualify for the Indy 500, but they were a feel-good team. It was always going to be time against them. They didn't have the early testing earlier in the year. They had troubles in practice, so they had to delay in kind of getting their rookie orientation, I believe, in that. So they were always on the back foot, and they just couldn't quite find a setup that was good enough to get them over the line to go on that basis. But you do not have bump day in the road course. So Top Gun Racing will make their IndyCar debut, and RC Enerson will make his IndyCar debut this weekend. It's going to be exciting to see.
Yeah, definitely.
I think, like we said, they are a team with they win on team name, Top Gun Racing.
Exactly,
it's a great name. That's it. They've won already.
They've done.
They've won the fans' hearts.
Here we go. RC Enerson to win their first race in IndyCar.
I think RC's a popular guy as well, to be fair. And I think that will be a Meyer Shank style growth if they can get that sponsorship and build a team into where it starts off with these one-off entries, part-time calendars, and then hopefully maybe 4 or 5 years down the line, they're in a full-time entry.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Another one is a European driver, Danish, and not Kevin Magnussen, who's obviously made an appearance in IndyCar. It is Christian Lundgaard, currently driving the F2 for ART. His second season in Formula 2, drove for ART in his first season as well. A very talented young driver. I think he has won junior category championships before then. ART is a little bit of a weird seat within it. His teammate, so he was the favoured one over Marcus Armstrong in his first season, and this year Théo Pourchaire has been the favoured driver in ART. And, European calendars, although they are spec series, they're not entirely spec. They are very...
There's a lot that can make a difference.
There's a lot of politics involved as well.
Yeah.
And who you have backing you and who you don't have backing you. But he is part of the Alpine Formula 1 Team Academy.
Yeah.
Obviously, previously Renault. And it may be first steps of introducing... They have a lot of juniors on their ranks. And Guan Yu Zhao, the other junior, looks like the one that they will push and try and get into Formula 1. So Christian Lundgaard, they may try and push and give a presence within IndyCar. And he's with Rahal Letterman Lanigan Racing. I believe this is one. And it's rumoured to be another at least 2 races this year. So it's going to be interesting to see how he gets on.
Very interesting.
Like Grosjean, most like the European circuits, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, it's the smart one to kind of bring him in for his first race.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's a track that he'll be similar to.
Yeah. Although they're not running a Alpine livery, are they? They are running... I can't remember who the title sponsor is on his car.
It's red. Harvey is on there.
Yeah.
It's on the back, but it's not the main title sponsor. Yeah, I can't... maybe Rojak, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But it could be, like you said, it could be a move that Alpine could be like McLaren, we've seen, there was some news in the week that was that? Yeah, I don't think we've covered it, that McLaren taken majority share in Arrow McLaren SP Racing. Is that their full name?
Arrow McLaren Schmidt Peterson.
Yeah. They've taken the majority stake, 75%. So we could see another F1 team come in and make a IndyCar team.
Obviously, with the budget caps in Formula 1 and also the fact that Renault switched to being called Renault to Alpine, and Alpine are a sports car brand, if they are looking to expand their market within the US market, having a presence in a form of one of the teams and supporting a car, whether it's through their junior drivers like a Christian Lundgaard or by putting in a partnership with Rahal Letterman Lanigan like McLaren did.
Yeah.
It's something that will be interesting, definitely for sure. But yeah, those are some interesting storylines, but I think we kind of covered it. Look, the IMS is a great track. Sometimes it can obviously receive criticism for its layout of there, but I think the past, couple of seasons, we've had great races there.
Yeah, they've been really good.
And obviously plenty of opportunities to overtakes, and you won't have the chaos that you had in Nashville. But again, always strategy is important, but plenty of opportunities to overtakes, and there's been some brilliant racing there in the past couple of seasons. So podium predictions, Stephen. Who's making it?
Oh, I haven't even thought about this.
Do you want me to go?
No, okay.
Okay, he's going.
I'm going to go.
We're ready.
Willpower.
Cool.
Get pole, dominate. Josef Newgarden, P2. And then P3. Oh, P3. P3. Romain Grosjean to get a second podium in the series.
Nice. Would be a great result for him and Delcoin. But you know what would be a better result for him? Romain Grosjean to win the race is my kind of top step podium predictions. Number 2 is Jack Harvey coming in second place. And 3, Alex Palou to extend his championship lead. I feel like we spoke about in the preview for Nashville last week that you said it could be a really key one to kind of get on top. And I think the fact that Alex Palou essentially extended his lead in Nashville, I know Dixon managed to get the P2, but 40s, if he can just get another podium position and finish ahead of the majority of his title rivals, I'm predicting him to finish ahead of all his title rivals, then I think it's pretty much starting to get nailed on that Alex Palou is going to win his first IndyCar title.
Jeez.
There you go. Whew, that's my podium prediction.
No pressure, Alex.
No pressure. No pressure. No pressure at all. Star performer.
Oh, okay. I need a bounce back after you levelled the series up last week. Who am I going to go for as a star standout? Incredible race. top 10, maybe even a top 5. Who are we going to go for?
I've got mine. Do you want me to go for mine?
You go.
Star performer is going to be building on his podium last week, James Hinchcliffe. It's a big kind of couple of races for James Hinchcliffe. Again, another one not announced, out of contract. Both him and Ryan Hunter-Reay had, good races last time out. Stephen was the motivation that they needed. They were tuning in and going, I will prove that I am worthy of note, this podcast. But Hinchcliffe, first top 10 result of the season. So I'm going to back him to get another top 10, hopefully a top 5 performance for him.
Yeah.
And kind of have a really strong end to the season, if not to secure a seat with Andretti, but to secure a seat within the series. To show that he still got it.
I feel like I should offer my services of writing a driver off to give them the motivation to bounce
absolutely.
back.
It's a good,
if anyone wants to be written off, to be ripped into, I'm here.
How much do we charge? How much do we charge? We've got to make an income out of this. Come on, mate.
I don't know. $5?
Yeah, it sounds alright. $5. There you go.
30 drivers want to pay a $5 for me to rip into.
Now, is that $5 or £5? We've got to get the conversion rate.
Okay. Both. They could give us $5 and £5.
Wow, okay. Look at that. Your price just doubled / whatever the inflation rate or comparison conversion rate is from dollars to pounds. Right, there you go. Star performer.
My star performer. It's tricky.
I stalled enough for you. I mean, Jesus, how much more do you want?
I got distracted about ripping into drivers.
Yeah, went off on a tangent. As often we do.
My star performer is Sebastian Bourdais. He's had a rough time of it of late, and I'm backing him to get a strong top 10, top 5 performance.
I like it. These star performers, they're really out there, star performers.
Yeah.
In terms of, and both, obviously, Hinchcliffe's had a great podium there, but Bourdais has had early season some superb performances. So he really, if someone doesn't drive into the back of him, could go on that basis.
If he survives the start or a restart, he's good.
Yeah, basically. That's
his trickiest part of the race.
Yeah.
And who's behind him?
Rookies.
Rookie. I think it's just difficult to go against Mr. Romain Grosjean.
Well, we should probably list the rookies to give people the
5
options.
of them, right?
I think there's 5 of them. So we've got RC Enerson and obviously Christian Lundgaard joining the roster, compared to our adding to our Scott McLaughlin, Jimmie Johnson, and Romain Grosjean. I mean, I can't really go against Romain Grosjean, as I predicted him to win the race. So he is going to be the rookie of the race because he's won it.
It's very difficult to look past him. I feel like Christian Lundgaard will have a very solid race.
If he gets top 10, I think that's a fantastic result.
If he gets top 10, that's incredible, considering he's had a couple of testing sessions, hasn't he?
I believe he's had 1 day of testing.
1 day of testing.
So he's had 1 day of testing, plus a weekend of practice in qualifying into it. But qualifying and the race will be on the same day, I'm pretty sure, how it'll work with the Brickyard.
Should I just go wild and just go Christian Lundgaard will be my rookie of the...
I mean, you can do what you want, mate.
I'm just going to go for it.
I suppose, in context, if Christian Lundgaard does get a top 10 and Romain Grosjean gets a podium, does that outweigh Grosjean's podium?
I think so.
That's because he's just putting it in his face. No, absolutely. I think so. Absolutely. All right.
Come on now. Grosjean's already got a podium. Lundgaard hasn't even got a top 10 or a top 20 or a top 30.
Because he hasn't raced before.
Minor details.
Major detail.
If he qualifies in the top 28, that's an incredible achievement.
Right. Well, I think that is it for our preview. And also, actually, this is an introduction. If you got to this section, we probably should have said this at the start, but I'll keep iterating from it. What we want, obviously, we're fans. This is kind of like a fan podcast. We're a fan channel, IndyCar, somewhere where IndyCar fans can come as a community, grow, discuss, and enjoy IndyCar with us, with other fans, with whoever you want, really, I suppose, from it, but just somewhere on the internet, a safe space to enjoy IndyCar. But we want to kind of get some more fan interaction. So we want to introduce a fan section. So we've already introduced Fan Cam on Instagram. Obviously, you can look in the description below to follow us on Instagram if you don't already. But if you go to a Grand Prix, we want you to send us our pictures, your pictures, so we can share them on our story and call it the Fan Cam. So, we can share your experience, and obviously other fans who don't get to attend the race. It's like great to see you guys at the race and kind of pictures from there. But as part of the fan section of the podcast, we want you to either send in a question in the comments, or you can send it to us DMing it on Instagram or on Twitter, sending us a video question going like, "Hi Mike, hi Stephen, what do you think James Hinchcliffe's going to do this weekend?" Stephen?
He hasn't done enough this season for me to even think about it.
No, what are you doing?
What?
He's got a podium last week.
What?
What's wrong with you?
What a podium? Come on now.
Something along those lines, or something related, or you can even make it a silly question of going, I don't know, what's your favourite food?
Oh, that's a tricky one.
No, not actually, because no one's asked that question. What are you going?
There's quite a lot of different
fan
foods
section.
I'm a fan of.
You can, right, brilliant. All right, fan section. We want interaction from you. Send us in and we'll have a little section, or you just kind of pie us off and don't add any questions and it is a complete flop.
Well, sort of. Only one of us is getting pied.
Well, if it's a draw, I suppose we both get pied.
Oh, yeah. Have to get Haley to pie us both.
But yeah, that's it for today's IndyCar podcast, the race preview of the Big Machine GP. We hope you're looking forward to the action this weekend. Remember, the race is on Saturday, not a Sunday, because there is a double header with NASCAR. We hope you tune into both events over the course of the weekend, and look out for that feature video coming later in the week, our tribute to kind of Bob Jenkins and his life as a legend in motorsport broadcasting. And if you're new around here or haven't done so already, what can they do, Stephen?
They can like, subscribe and ding that bell.
Ding it. So for now, you Indy fans, keep racing.